how we're going to start out is I want you guys, it's the last day of August. It's not over yet, and we're going to continue to push. But what I want you guys to quickly talk about, each of you, I'm going to have each of you talk about, I want you to say, because we had Team Cup, we had the Elite 10 for 10. We feel like we provided great opportunities if you wanted to push for greatness, that this was the opportunity for you to push for greatness. So I want you guys to reflect back on the month and say, what are the lessons that you learned during the month of August? And I don't care if it's for good or for bad. I don't necessarily care, well, the month's like, okay, well, I want to know the lesson you learned. And if it was good, then I want to know the lesson learned. If it wasn't what you thought it would be, I want to know the lesson learned so that we can all go from there. And I don't know who wants to go first. Anyone want to jump in first with? Yeah.
Sure, I'll go first.
Great.
Hi, guys. So I'm new here. This is my first time joining you guys. So what I learned from August, I finally, September will be my 5-year anniversary as a coach. And literally, after 5 years almost, I have finally taken my lid off. I have always lived as a coach with this, I'll hit my success club 5, and then I'll put all my energy into the next month. I'll just hit my 5, and then I have a cough, so forgive me for cough drop. And then I'll keep those names, and I'll use them for next month. Limiting myself, but I have been thinking this whole time that's the smart thing to do because I'm already getting ready for the next month. But what I did for the first time because of the cup, and just something shifted, I know, so cliche, but it really did. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to have them join while the momentum is here. And what I was scared of happening was that it would not get me successful for the next month. But I was like, well, I'll deal with next month. Let's use that. And those messages, don't do the things that we do. You know what? I'm just going to kind of delay this response and message so I could keep her for September. I would do that, And I just said, I'm just going to take my lid off, give it my all, respond to all those messages, pour everything into it, and believe that I will still hit my success goal for, the next month. And trying to get the team to do that too, instead of them just feeling like they're going to just hit their 5 and stop right there. You're just telling yourself, I'm only qualified enough to hit 5 and then I'll stop. So that was a big change for me, just telling myself it's not going to limit you. It will actually help you. And don't delay those. Don't do that thing where you put them off for the next month. And I want to share with you guys, I don't know if you've ever seen this. I just got this. It was a huge change for me for August. I just got this High Achievers Playbook. Have you guys ever seen this before? Oh my gosh. So Jamie Innes is one of the girls in my team, and she swears by it. It's literally made for network marketing professional. And each day has your to-do for business, your to-do for personal. It literally has your workouts, your water, people you made exposures and contacts, personal development. It's made for Beachbody coaching. And it has the activity, the contact name info. It has everything. So, and if you order 2 of them online, they send you the 3rd one for free. So check it out if you haven't heard of it.
That's awesome. Really cool. And that oddly goes right in line with today's topic of time management.
Cool.
That's exactly what we're talking about. Maybe we'll have you share more about that playbook here as we dive into our topic. But okay. I love that what you said. It's so you feel that what went well in August was your taking off those for you. It was you changing your mental shift.
Totally.
Interesting.
After a long time, just stop limiting myself, because what am I teaching my team? To do the same thing. Just hit your 5. It's no, just keep trying, keep showing up,
I like that. Okay, Lindsay, let's hear your lessons learned during the month of August.
Oh my, I've had some lessons this month. So I have had a coach who has been starting negative side chatter on our team, on my team. And come to find out, she's an older lady, and come to find out, she is a chronic bullier. And I don't know if she knows me or not, but I am not one that's going to get bullied. I'm a rhino. And I didn't feed into her side chatter at all, but it did bug me. It bugged the crap out of me. And it bugged me because she was starting these conversations with like valuable people on my team. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just not going to give in to her. Like, she would just message me to want me to message her back to say something. And I'm like, how old are you? And she kind of came to me and was like, I have no time for this business. And I'm like, well, then why are you messaging me? If you have no time for this business, then you should. I told her, I was like, think about what serves your business. And, I talked her through that. And then it was, well, I'm all about numbers, but then I'm not about numbers. It was just negative. She's a very negative person. So I had to deal with that this month. And I think I came off that I didn't care, but I do, because it's my team, it's my baby, and I don't know how to really tack it, because I don't want to feed it into her BS, and I also don't want to come off as like, oh, I know what you're doing, but I am that type of person. Like, I would go on my team page and be like, this has got to stop. But I know not everybody's like me. So my lesson is that I need to kind of let that go. When I'm acting like I'm letting it go, I really need to let it go, because it's affected my business. Like, I haven't had the time to spend to help new people because I've been having to deal with her this whole month. So great for time management tonight.
Right on cue. Great. All right, Doreen, let's hear lessons learned during the month of August.
It's been a long time coming. I have negativity here. Sorry. And you honestly, the 10 for 10 is focusing on selling challenge packs. The conversations in the roundtable and in the other behind the wall groups is that is not necessarily best for us or for our coaches, volume wise. Because when a coach sells a challenge pack, the TV is 45, but when they sell Shakeology, it's 90. And the 10 for 10, I am personally finding all of this a distraction. And the first year, I had 5 diamonds, and I was 12 points short of elite. But I drove my whole business away from volume towards elite to get that. I don't even know what you called it. You said chance to shine. And then the second year, I had more than enough points and didn't have the diamonds. But again, what I did was I screwed myself over on volume to get that recognition. So what I am really learning and realizing is that the shiny object is stopping me from making more money. And the team cup or the 10 for 10 might be best for Beachbody, but it's not best for Doreen's finances. So, I do, I totally understand. Corrine, is that how you say your name? I remember when I was new, pushing people off, and my upline said, no, don't do that. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. But that made sense to me too at the time. Had she not said that, I might still be doing that. Who knows? But yeah, you're definitely limiting yourself. Good for you stopping that. But I push as hard as I can. I'm so focused on getting people success. And looking back now, last year, the reason I didn't have the diamonds was 3 of my girls quit, 1 coach away from diamonds. 3 of them, 3 separate times during the year, because they were upset over Success Club. They each had missed a month of Success Club, and it shook them to the point where they stopped working and then faded out altogether. Only one of them is still on Shakeology. And she was so strong. She was such a strong coach. She's still an Emerald, doing nothing in the business for a year. She's still an Emerald. She's still got lifers on there. But it was a lot of time and effort to try to get 5 points. And I wasn't teaching them to meet people where they were at. I was teaching them that if they don't want a challenge pack, then you don't get your points. I mean, I totally was taught, in my opinion, the wrong way, and I was teaching the wrong way. So now I feel like I have to undo and redo, but it's too late for the people who are gone. I'm starting over again with people who are there. I think Eric Worre said in GoPro, which I've read a number of times, he draws a line, a T-chart. I mean, I've been to GoPro, I've been to Insanity, and he said there's, easier to leave, easier to stay. And getting them over to that easier to stay side requires quick wins. Challenge packs are not always quick wins. So I'm learning that I need to stop looking at the shiny objects, the carrots that Beachbody is dangling in front of us. There's a lot of reasons why challenge packs are better for Beachbody, money-wise, and I totally get it. But if I want to focus on my volume, I've got to do other things.
And I'm going to agree with you on that one, Doreen. And that you need, that is, it's kind of like how we direct our teams is kind of how Beachbody directs 450,000 coaches. And that is, we're going to put something out there, and if this is something you want to do, then awesome. Go ahead and do it. But if it isn't in line where you're going down your path, that's okay.
Yep.
And I don't think you're going to hear from a corporate mentor that we're going to force you in down a path you don't want to go down. Now, as a whole, we do have to put out there high-level things. And once again, if that's something you and your team want to go after, awesome. We're going to help you get there. But if the answer is no, that's okay too. So yes, this shiny object that you're referring to, it's okay to put your blinders on. And there's plenty of coaches who do that. And they care about volume. 100% they care about volume because that's what pays the bills. Awesome. The whole Northeast, we're going to help you help pay the bills. That's what we're interested in as well. We want to make sure that whatever path you're going down, that we help you get there. And that's what it should be for the same with our coaches, the coaches that you guys deal with. If you guys are forcing them down a path they don't want to go down, I can guarantee you they're going to either quit or they're going to not. They're not going to enjoy it because that's not what they signed up to do. So we do need to talk to them on the level that they're at, Doreen, like you said, find out what does success look like for you? Where do you want to go? How can I help you get there? And then help them get there through accountability and through training and coaching them. To me, that's a good definition of success. Success isn't what you define for them, it's what they define for themselves, and you helping them get there. And I guarantee you that definition of success will continue to grow and develop and mature as they do as well. So great. So I'll leave it. I know we got to move on to our topic. I'll say this. Whatever lesson you learned in the month of August, cool. What are you going to do about it? And I'm not asking you to say out loud what that is, but you need to ask yourself. So what are you going to do? What's going to change in your business or continue if it was a positive thing? What are you going to continue to do? Or what if not wasn't positive, what are you going to change for the rest of the year? If we just simply say, well, this is the lesson learned and nothing changes, then I don't count that as a lesson. I think we need to learn from our lessons and grow. That's how we develop as leaders. And hopefully you guys do this periodically with your coaches as well. I hope you take team calls or one-on-ones or groups or whatever and have reflection moments. I don't think we do enough reflection. Going to what Corinne kind of said earlier, a lot of times we just say, what's next? Put the past in the past and we focus on what's next. There's plenty of lessons to be learned from reflection. And I think it's a healthy activity to do that with your team on a regular basis, whatever that definition looks like for you, do it. And now we're going to move on now to time management, because I think this is one of our most important topics that probably doesn't get discussed about enough. And the reason I say that is if you were to look at, well, I'll give you two examples. If you were to look at the top 10 coaches or top 20, top 30, 40, whatever, and if you were to say, what's the difference between me and them, it's probably not personality, because let me tell you, the top 10 is full of different personalities. My guess is that they figured out how to manage their time and work their business efficiently. They own it they work it like a true business. They put the sunny days and rainy days, sick, not sick, they put their all into every single day. Their posts are 100% on purpose, and they have a reason behind it. And I guarantee you, they have a schedule that they adhere to strictly. And that's how they become successful. That is my personal opinion. I guess that's one of two reasons why I think they're successful. Now, so if time management, the other thing is I don't know if you guys watch them or not. If you do, then you're my best friend. The What It Takes videos, I don't know if you guys have watched those on the Northeast region page. What I do is I interview all of the elite coaches in our region, and I ask them the exact same questions as to what it takes to become successful. And with the hope that if you watch enough of these videos, you'll see a central theme come out of people are repeating the exact same answers without being prompted to. That's kind of just what they do. And it's happening. There's 26 episodes out. If you haven't watched them, I recommend go watching them. And you'll see what they do to become successful. And almost every single one use the consistency, that's what they say is what helps them be successful. And consistency comes with time management. So huge proponent of time management. Success does not come by chance, and it doesn't come by giving a half-hearted attempt at doing the coaching thing. It comes because they did it on purpose. So let's kind of what we did earlier. If it's okay with you, I would love to hear just maybe 1 to 2 things that you feel are things that you do that help with your time management. Kind of give me your time management best practices. And if you feel like time management is not your strong suit, kind of then don't fake it. Tell us where your struggle is, and then maybe we can come up with something that can help you. So, Kareem, if you don't mind starting again, 1 to 2 best practices on time management.
I would say number 1, without question, is every night I do an AM shift and a PM shift. I have a 2-year-old that requires a lot of hands-on attention. She has a rare disease, and I have to pay close attention always. But I do an AM and a PM, so I know that I plan it ahead of time. But my biggest number 1 thing is during my PM shift, at the very end of it, I write for the following day my entire business to-do list, and my personal too. Like my son's first day of school, whatever it is, doctor appointments, and my whole, national wake-up call on the business side, whatever it is for the following day. They don't necessarily have to have times, but they have a checkbox, and I like that gratification. So that's my number 1. My second thing, I guess maybe the AM PM thing. That's a non-negotiable. I have to have an AM and I have to have a PM. I don't care if it's power hour, power whatever it is. It's whatever time I can do where it's focused. Those would be my 2 things. Does that make sense?
If you were to put a time frame on what your AM PM shift looks like, how many hours? How long?
I would say that my AM would be 1 and my PM is from 8 to 11 p.m. Okay. And then 5:45 is time to wake up and shift.
Okay. And so just kind of playing off of that, when you have those shifts, it's not, okay, what do I do? You already know what you need to do and you do it. Yes?
Yes.
Because you've already written those things out.
Yeah, and it could be things where, you know, it is follow-ups, but it can also be, you know, sending out birthday cards to my customers or my coaches, but it's going to be scheduled in those 8 to 11 or, you know, the morning shift, but written out, like you said, the night before. So.
I like that. I'm a huge fan of that as well. I do the same. Here's mine. If you can't tell, I do sticky notes. There is my before I leave today. Those things need to happen.
Yeah, sticky notes are life. They're everywhere.
Amen. Lindsay, let's hear your time management best practices.
So, I'm kind of the same way as Kareen. I, without doubt, wake up in the morning and I get my workout done, and then I do my power hour. Like, my team knows that. Anybody who's following me knows I work out in the morning. Like, that's just a non-negotiable for me. I work full time, so I have to really schedule my day. I'm also a wife, a mom. I have 2 kids under 3. I'm a fitness instructor now, so my kids have activities. So I am the most organized person up in my brain, but not the most organized person on paper. And so I just recently got a month at a glance planner because I just have too much shit to keep in my head. So I got this, but I like your planner, Kareen, that you were talking about. I'm going to look into that. But I needed this because I'm teaching, my husband's teaching. So that is something that is new to me, that hopefully, because I am notorious at getting a planner and using it for about a couple of weeks, and then it goes underneath my car seat and I don't use it again. I did that all throughout high school, all throughout college. So I'm hoping I've changed a little bit. And then at night, Monday through Wednesday, I make sure that I am open to my team. So whether it's our team calls every Tuesday, I do a team call. I ask them what they wanted, and they like to touch base every Tuesday. So I offer myself up. I do not pay for the Zoom. So that way we are done in 40 minutes, because if not, I think I'd be on for 2 hours. So that's a good time management tool, I think, because it allows me to say, hey, we're getting cut off. Sorry.
Love that. Love the free account as well.
Yep. The free account. Yep. So that way I could probably pay for it and stay on, but I'm saving money and I'm cutting us off because we don't need to talk more than 40 minutes. And then I'll offer it up for another call, or maybe it's a getting started right call. My getting started right calls are group. And we have a Tell Me More group at least twice or once a month. And that is usually on a Wednesday, vice versa. So at Thursday, Friday, I try to keep that family nighttime. And on the weekends, obviously, I just work out and, send some messages. But
cool. So
I try to keep it really, really tuned in. So that way I'm not doing extra stuff, because we all have that same time. So
yes, we do. Very good. And I have some things to say about that. I have something I want to show you guys. I think that goes in line with kind of what you were saying, Lindsay. But I want to make sure Doreen has a chance to talk about her 1 or 2 things that works best for her.
Okay.
Awesome.
I have a checklist for my power hour, which has everything in it, which I love. I do everything basically every day. Sometimes I get overloaded with messages, so I have to have a day of follow-ups and messages, because my page is very active. So I'll make up the time. By the end of the week, I work in waves sometimes, but I try to do everything every day. My problem with time management is I can make a power hour last a power 16 hours. So I can do the first thing on my list. Let's see, I'll write my goals and I might stop and do something in the house. Then I'll do my birthdays and maybe friend 10 new people and then stop. And then an hour later, I'm commenting so I can stretch this out like, oh, look, squirrel. Oh, the dog did something cute. I know what Micah Folsom does. She sits down, she puts her blinders on. Ashley Smith is not getting up and playing with the dog. Okay, I know they're not doing that. I need to learn how not to do that.
Amen. You're not alone in that. But I like that. I feel like I feel like a lot of us know what we should be doing, but sometimes it just doesn't fit our personality or doesn't fit who we are. But I don't think we need to fit, and Lindsay, kind of going off of what you said, how the planner works for 2 weeks. I don't think we need to squeeze ourselves into something we're not. I do think we can take notes on what we have done and the results we're getting, and then what we think we can do next time to see if it works better for us. Rather than jumping 100 feet, let's just jump 2 feet and see if that works for you.
Can I add something real quick?
Yes.
Is that okay? I don't know where I heard it, but it was genius, and I think it would really help you. Doreen, right? Is it pronounced just like mine with a D?
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody sets a timer. I don't know who it was, but they set a timer for their power hour, and it's like they see it. I don't know if that would work for you. That would drive me nuts personally.
I've done it, and it works for a while, and I stopped setting it. I'm a procrastinator by nature. I get everything done. Nothing doesn't get done. But I'm not giving myself a proper life.
Yeah.
Because I have all day. I mean, I'm just taking it away from myself. There's no reason for me to stretch this out till, right. 11 o'clock at night when I could get it done honestly in 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah. And I believe me, I hear you. I hear you. It's just, we have to. We got to check. I think we really have to say, okay, is what I'm doing getting me to where I want to go? And if the answer is no, then something needs to change. We can't expect to do the same things and get better results. We can't.
Yeah.
And I know we all know that. Okay, I know. Going off of what Lindsay said, the free account. Unfortunately, they upgraded all of ours to the not free account, and so. But I want to keep it to close to 40 minutes as possible. I want to show my screen. Share my screen really quick. Maybe you guys have seen this. Maybe you haven't. I'm trying. I showed this yesterday, and I was challenged by one of my coaches to make this, to insert beach body things rather than job, desk work things. But I'll show it to you anyways. Okay. Yes, you guys can see that? Okay, hopefully. What this was done by Franklin Covey. And I went to one of their seminars. They're actually based out here in Utah. And I went to one of their seminars, and they talked about this, and I really liked it. And I applied it to my job previous to this one. And when I thought of time management, this came to me. And I want to make sure I want to go over this, and maybe we can together come up with some activities that fall into each of these quadrants. So if you have seen this, humor me and play along. If you haven't, this is your first time, awesome. So what this is they say that all activities during our day can fall into one of 4 categories. And if you look at the orange, the rows and the columns, at the top there's urgent categories, not urgent, and then along the side there's important and not important. So if we were to go around the different quadrants, let's talk about each of them. So if we were to do the top left, which is the urgent and important, they labeled this firefighting, simply because it has to get done and it's extremely important. These are the crises, these are the pressing problems, these are the deadline things. And while they probably do get done, the fire gets out, not the most productive thing to be doing with our time. I don't think we enjoy spending. If you were to think about what is considered firefighting activities for you, we probably don't enjoy doing those as much because we're not moving the needle forward. We're kind of just reacting. I mean, firefighters react to a fire. There's, if we were to go into the details, there's some prevention that they do, but mostly firefighters react. So we don't want to do that. That doesn't really help a business move forward. But that's quadrant 1. The next quadrant is important and not urgent. And the reason this one is colored in green is because this is the ideal place to be. This is where you are the most productive. You come up with creative things. This is brainstorming time. This is how can I make my team better. This is moving activities that move the needle forward. They're important, but they're not pressing. They give you time to think. There's plenty of room for planning. So this is a great place to be in. is quality time. Granted, I'm not saying all your time needs to be in here. That's not logical. But we do need to make sure that a good chunk of our time is in the quality time, the important but not urgent category. The third one, which is the bottom left, this is the urgent and not important. This one is distraction. And unfortunately, I think a lot of us spend time here. It's urgent, but believe me, it has nothing to do with moving the needle forward. It has nothing. It's just straight up things that distract us. And then the final quadrant, which is the worst one, not urgent, not important, time wasting activities. Hopefully, I don't think a lot of us, especially at the level that we're at, have too many things that fall into the time wasting, but it's busy work. And I wonder if a lot of times, what happens here is we're busy, but it doesn't really lead to anything. I think I count this as scrolling on Facebook, creating cute little things that really don't matter, but we stay busy. But these are time wasting activities. And so, if you were to take your day and then put the different activities in here, that might be a healthy activity to do, with the hope that you have the green, the quadrant 2, is you have some great time in there, because then we're able to say, okay, am I spending too much of my time in 1? Because I feel like for us, 1, 2, and 3 are kind of where most of us stay. Either we're putting out way too many fires because of team drama or questions, whatever, or we're distracted. So there's that. Now, let me just quickly end with this.
He has to go out, so I need to go.
No, you're fine. I'll just quickly end with this. The number 13 coach right now is Ashley Laughlin. I think I've talked to her about her before. She was on my mastermind call 2 days ago. And I asked her, so what does her day look like? How does she manage her time? And she said that she kind of does what Corinne does. There's a morning shift and there's a PM shift. But she says, and people message me all day, all the time. They have questions. I could be on all the time, but I'm not. And my team knows that, and my customers know that. They know if you message me during the day, you'll hear from me in the night. If you message me at night, you'll hear from me in the morning. And during the daytime, she goes, I do productive things. I do things that move my business forward, that I know that that's Q2. She spends time in Q2. And she makes time for family as well. That's something that's very important to her. That's something she does. So that's something that I recommend as well. Okay, we're out of time. Great stuff, guys. Hopefully you got something out of this that you want to start implementing. So do it. Be held accountable to that. That's how we get better. Thanks for jumping on. We'll see you guys in a little while. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.